All right, Code 3 Americans, welcome back. Got another book review for you today. Something you could take immediate action on. Doesn't cost a lot. If anything, I guess you go to the library. Those things still exist. But we got another book for you today. So what I'd recommend is you get the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was written by Robert Kiyosaki, who founded the Rich Dad Company as Cash Flow Quadrant, a number of other books, and he's also got the Cash Flow board game. But the whole company's based on real financial education. The book's a fantastic book that's basically a story of Robert's life as he grew up in Hawaii. And his biological father was the head of education in Hawaii, had a lot of advanced degrees, but he ultimately was poor. And his best friend's dad had, I believe, an eighth grade education, if I remember right. Didn't graduate high school, that's for sure, because some events that happened early in his life, and he was extremely wealthy. So Robert tells the story from the perspective of growing up and having various things come up or things he'd want to learn about in the different perspectives of his highly educated poor dad, poor dad versus not highly educated relative to formal education from his best friend's dad, which he calls his rich dad. So it's just a great book full of lessons. And the thing about Rich Dad, Poor Dad is I've spent a lot of time going to conferences all over the place and getting in rooms full of really high achieving people. And it's amazing to me that I would say probably at least 90% of the speakers on the stage talk about how their story started with the little purple book. So this book, I'll recommend this book to people sometimes, and it won't tell them specifically how to do something, and they'll come back and say, "Well, geez, it didn't tell me how to do anything." Well, no, you can't put all of the secrets into one book. I mean, that book would be enormous. And the reality is, Rich Dad Poor Dad is about shifting mindset. It's to break paradigms. It's to get you to think through things that we've all been told just kind of growing up in society, that you have to turn your money over to financial planners, or um, that you have to pay a lot of tax if you make a lot of money, or your house is an asset. And Robert Kiyosaki took a lot of flack back then when this book was published, because he came out and said your house is not an asset, it's a liability. Why does he say that? He said an asset puts $1 in your pocket and a liability takes $1 from your pocket. Well, it costs money to own your house, to maintain it, to pay the property taxes, the insurance, the upkeep on it, and so forth. And that's even if you own it outright from the bank. Now, you could sell it at some point and put a gain in your pocket, a capital gain, and then that would indeed become an asset, and he will recognize that. But it's just a book that really parallels kind of frankly what's been going on in the world as far as how we're all taught about money, which is not a lot growing up. We're certainly not taught anything about money in school, nothing of any significance. And it's like the lessons that are taught are just frozen in time as the world shifts around us. So it's a great mind shift book. I've had the pleasure of being around Robert um, on a couple different instances. This is me visiting with him in Belize last year in 2021. I had a pleasure being around him at a birthday dinner in Arizona in July of 2021. And when you get into conversation with Robert, you'll find out he's very passionate about real financial education, and thinking that should be pushed into the school system. So I couldn't recommend this book enough. One of the first books I read on my journey is I started down this path, and I'm really proud to say that they also got a Rich Dad for Teens. And this book I gave to my oldest daughter, and I was just proud as could be, when we found out that she came home, talked about the teacher was saying that there were no other kids in the class reading a book like that. When they were in assigned reading time. So that made me believe, well, we must be doing the right thing there. So anyway, I would recommend Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book. It shifted a lot of people's mindset, and added a huge impact on a lot of people around the world. So anyway, check out Rich Dad Poor Dad. Some other things you can do is, if you're not part of our community, send an email to community@code3assets.com. Make sure you're getting our newsletters, and make sure you're getting our invites to our meetups so that you can be a part of network building and information sharing and collaborating on ideas. Nothing's for sale in those meetups. We just get together, share ideas. So you won't know when they're coming unless you happen to see a post on social media or you're getting our newsletter. So just send that email to community@code3assets.com. We'll try to keep cranking out some content to help you take action on things that just don't cost a lot. But once you start shifting your mindset, you can start to be who you're becoming, and it'll make a big, big difference. So until next time, go out there, read the Purple Book. We'll see you on the next one.